All right. Getting a little bit of a late start. Tiny bit of a late start today. But I'll say we're going to get some work done today. Get things a little sorted here. Hey, Dennis Gaming. If you're still there, thanks for joining. All right. Let's see what we're going to do today. So, a couple things on my mind. I had I don't know when, maybe 2 months ago, 3 months ago, at what appears to be a startup publishing company reach out to me. And, very, very cautious with a lot of that stuff. A lot of that stuff is just straight up scams. And, but I was pretty impressed with their presentation and what they had to say. And, it seems like it's at least worth jumping through the hoops. Hey there, Quantum. Thanks for joining. And anyways, this company, I made it really clear. They reached out to me. I sent them, I spent, a week or two trying to polish up a build for the game, and it made it really clear, hey, this isn't really ready for public consumption, yada yada. But if you want to take a look at it, here it is. Here's the current state of the game. And then they wanted to see some documentation of this and that, and which is fine, right? All that stuff's good. All good stuff. But I did jump through a lot of hoops to make that happen. And with, kind of the expectation that maybe, small chance that something actually works out. Really, really kind of cautiously optimistic. And, I sent all that stuff off. I put a good amount of effort into it, actually. And I sent all that stuff off, and radio silence. And I'm like, all right, fine, seems really reasonable. My game is my game. It is what it is. And I just assumed after a month they weren't interested. And I'm just looking for something here. We're going to pull up, but anyways, a month goes by after sending this stuff to them, and they get back to me. Hey, we like the idea. It looks cool. But we'd love to have a more complete demo. Which, it's at some level was pretty fantastic. I guess the funny part, and I guess the reason I'm telling this story, has a little bit to do with what I'm going to do on the stream today. I had really just the night before been kind of processing this all and been like, okay, really, I'm not hearing back from them. What do I need to do next step? Got to get a trailer out. Really, really got to get a trailer out, right? If you go to the Steam store page, you get there, there's the required number of screenshots, and they're okay. They're fine. They show more or less what the game looks like, and but there's no trailer, right? Trailers are huge. People want to see trailers. Makes the page look unpolished, looks the game unpolished to not have it there. But this was an experiment to see, hey, is it worth putting up a Steam page before you have a trailer? And the jury's still out on that one. Anyways, I'd kind of shifted my head towards making that trailer, getting the game really visually, getting parts into it that are visually interesting. And then these guys wrote back, and it just kind of shifted my thinking from okay, trailer, where it needs to look okay or look good, but it could have bugs, it could whatever, as long as those bugs aren't visual. And now I'm back onto the gotta get that demo put together. The goal of trying to get a demo together, I told them it would take a while. It'd probably take until at least January, which might be optimistic. So anyways, that is kind of where things are at. But today, despite what I just said, I think what I really want to do is actually work on stuff for the trailer to make things look better. Partially because I think that makes a more interesting stream. If it's visual, it's more interesting for streaming, as opposed to, say, getting into the nuance of code and bugs and, you know, picking up where, I don't know. I think it'll make for more interesting stream. So actually today we're actually gonna work on a little bit getting some models in there. Some of these models are complete, which is what I'm looking for here. So let's find this out. So what I want to do today is work on getting the missile tower, which is in here. It's one of the first things I actually made. Did I misspell it? There it is. That's not what I want. Let's just search for tower. Here, let me make this full screen. There we go. So I've got a missile tower. Looks like it's got some weird material on it at the moment. I don't know what material it has on it at the moment. But this is up and working, or it was working. So I want to get this, get the material on here. I want to get it colored so it looks halfway decent. The other one that I want to... Michael's probably not here. He'd let me know if he was. Is the other one I want to work on is this... kind of ICBM. Like, I guess I have that's textured, or it has a, it's got the material applied to it. The other one I want to work on, ooh, that one actually has the material on it. I forgot about that. I want to also get this up and working. This is like a ICBM bunker. Just, it's good visuals. And so I want to get those two things working, right? The idea of like missiles flying, you get particles and explosions, like it's good visual stuff for the trailer. So I want to get those going. Let's see. Dennis Gaming. Yeah, you get asked a lot for keys for a game. Yeah, it just happens. It's just part of the game, right? Like, if I have a person who reaches out and like the email or whatever, the contact is vaguely individualized and personal, like, hey, like it even just uses the name of the game. I definitely give it a longer look than a lot of those generic, you know, give me 5 keys. That's the other thing. If they ask for a single key or maybe 2 keys, I definitely look at it a lot longer. But yeah, it is just a part of the game. All right, so I'm gonna go to a blank scene here. Yeah, save that scene. Okay, I was doing some work before the stream here. Oh yeah, so that was one missile silo. I forgot that I actually put that together. It's a missile tower, sorry, not a missile silo. And there's the other one. I don't think I don't think that one I ever really got working. All right. So what's embarrassing is that at some point I changed my organization. And I don't know where the file for that missile tower is. I guess I could just import the FBX, but I'd much rather find the file. Maybe it's in the original. Let's try this. Oh, there it is. So talk about a little embarrassing organization here. So when I was kind of prototyping and just like seeing what worked, I for some reason decided to like build everything model a lot of stuff into one scene. Partially it was so that I could like get a glimpse of what it might look like, get a feel for it. Oh, sorry. But sure enough, there's my tower. Man, I'm having a hard time controlling. Why is that so slow? All right. There we go. Okay. So this tower here, I think is the one I want to go with. That one's kind of cool. This is definitely the one that's programmed. Yeah. That's the one that's all kind of functional. So that's one we're going to work with. So what I want to do, we're going to keep this super simple. I'm going to grab I probably need I'm going to grab the missile too. We're going to copy that and we're just going to open. Actually, let's just go in here, new. We're going to drop that in here. All right. Then we're going to go grab. I think I actually have it. Is this? Yeah. All right. So what I really want to do here is unwrap this and get it textured, and then we're going to get it in the game. We'll get it fully into the game and then test it and make sure that this is working. Should be pretty straightforward. All right, so we got our base, and should be built in. Yeah, so different models so we can rotate. I don't think I put a tilt on this. I don't think I really need a tilt for it. All right, so we're gonna shrink these down, stick them in there. And then maybe we'll grab and then we'll give it some highlights. Maybe we'll make that red. All right. I gotta say, what are we doing here? I just want to go into edit mode of that. There we go. I do love the simplicity of this kind of texturing, so to speak. Maybe we'll put it on that one. We'll make this one dark. It's just this really simple, low poly color palette is just, it's just really easy. I do miss like the softness and the, oops, that's not, yeah. I do miss the kind of the softness, the really nice, like baking each model's texture. It looks a lot better. No, maybe not a lot better. Should we do red on the back? Sure, why not? Oh, I bet you these things, yeah, I baked the antennas on there. Bummer. I didn't bake them. Let's just do it this way. Yeah. I used to be really careful with my selection, and then I realized often it's easier just to kind of be quick and dirty with your selection, and then you can unselect the stuff you don't want. All right, we're gonna stick those over here, give those a slightly different color. And I feel like these need to be a different color too. Make those a lighter color like that. Funny thing is, though, I'd modeled this nicely. I did this like a quick and dirty model to get it into the game, and I really should have done a better job of organizing the model so this would be easier. Like, it's silly that these are all separate models. These should all be like linked duplicates. But whatever. Again, I'm being too careful here. I just need to like mass select, get them all, and then unselect. All right, these guys. We're gonna make those lighter too. Oop, look at that. We missed a bunch. I had to laugh. One of the all my models use the same approach of color palettes, really simply just dropped into, you know, the UVs dropped in there, not doing real fancy unwrapping or texturing or anything like that. I've got one in there that I don't want. There we go. And again, it's got great advantages. It's quick and easy to do. You get your color palette. The colors are consistent throughout the project, and you have, for the most part, you really can reduce your number of materials in your project, which is a huge performance boost. And so I've done this with all of my models, and I don't know. I did this for all the hex tiles, the ground tiles, a long time ago, and I didn't realize until I don't know when that the bottom hex of my water tile totally didn't get placed in the right spot. So it's got this, like, if you look at the map from the bottom, you can see all the water textures or all the water tiles, because the bottom tile it did not get arranged onto one color. It's got like this mashup of colors on it. It's not a good story, but it made me laugh. Hey there, thanks for joining. If you guys are new to the game, I'll show you the game here in a bit. You can also check it out. You know, here I am. Got to plug my game a little bit. There's a link in the description down below. You can see the Steam page. Doesn't have a trailer, but it's got some screenshots and it's got some GIFs. I'm trying to decide if I want to texture the color the inside of this thing. I think maybe I do. I keep using the word texture. It's not really texturing. I mean, maybe it is, sort of. Let's go red. No, man. Well, I'm glad the new input system tutorial. I'm glad it's helpful. It's been a popular video. I often make those videos because I want to learn a system, and that was very much the case with that video. Super glad to hear it's useful. I think a lot of people are still really cautious about. Let's actually save this whole thing here. I think people are still pretty cautious about the new input system, and I'm not entirely sure why. Once I kind of wrapped my head around the new input system, I really haven't looked back. All right, let's stick this in. All right, let's make sure I know which one is which. Missile Tower 2 is that weird one. So let's override that one just for. Well, no, let's override this one. That'll be easier. Did I just do the wrong one? Son of a. Did I really? Now let's also do selected objects only. No, I did missile. Oh, all right. So here's our new missile. That's not Missile Tower 2. Oh, well, that was the old one. Okay. All right, let's go color palette. Let's assign the color. Well, that did not work right. All right, let's. Not entirely sure what's going on now. All right, here's the new missile tower. All right, I'm just being dumb. All right, there's our colors. Okay, I don't. Looks like we're in orthographic. There we go. Okay, I don't like the red rings on the bottom. I thought that might be an interesting touch. I think maybe those whole little highlight there, I don't think is enough blue. It's too boring. All right, let's fix that. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay, let's stick that in there. Okay, so those are going to be blue. Your game design student, you had to understand for assignment. Oh, I'm glad. Really, most of my it's getting a little hot. The channel really started as a way of supporting. I used to be a teacher, as a way of supporting my students. So good to hear that it is still working. I actually heard. Speaking of that, somebody shared with me that I think that video was a required viewing on some college course. Made me laugh. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it's pretty cool that a video I made its way into a college course, but. All right, let's see what that looks like. Okay, I think that's better. That's a lot of blue, though. I'm going to make those little ribs red. I really should have done this. Before combining it. Okay, we're going to make those red. And I think I might want to. Let's see if I can shrink these down here. Let's see if I can do normals. There we go. Took me a long time to realize that I could use this little drop down here to dictate how the transform tools work. I wonder if it would look better if, I don't know, let's see what that looks like. I don't know how I feel about that red inside there. Let's change that. No. There we go. Get those. Okay, let's just make those. Well, we're going to make those real dark. Something like that. I think partially too, like this is one of the first models I made. Just don't love it quite as much as some of the other ones I've made. Not that any of the models are really that great, but hey Thomas, thanks for joining. We're doing a little texturing, a little modeling. Well, really just a little unwrapping. I think it's too little generous to call it texturing. All right, so all right, so let's do this. Let's drop this in here. Something like that. And what we're going to do is turn off this old one. That's interesting. What is that? Actually, I'm going to turn off the new one too and see what we got here. So our turret base. Turret. Oh, I had both of them in here. I see what was going on. Okay. So what I've got here is I just ran out of words. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Get rid of that. This turret is going to come in here. Jeez. All right, we're going to open this prefab. So we're working on the prefab instead. We're going to then take our turret, drop our... Come on. Unpack. Drop that turret in there, like that. We're going to get rid of this turret. So get rid of that red one. Our turret base is just an empty that just lets us rotate. Turn this back on. We got our we got our detection object there. That's great. We got our mini map icon. All right. I mean, could it work? It might work. I don't know that I love the coloring of it, but I think for right now, it's going to work. It's going to do the trick. So let's go in. Next thing we need to do is we need to get an icon for this so that we can get it into the UI. So let's do that. Let's go to our scenes, testing. It's called green screen. Let's just make sure that this prefab has no. Yeah. All right. Here is our. I don't know. What did I have? What I spelled wrong? Oh yeah. Kept noticing that when I put in missile, that it wouldn't show up, and it's because I misspelled it. Oops. All right, we are going to get rid of that. And then we're going to turn off these objects here. Okay, so I've got this camera set up with the idea that I can get kind of consistent. Yeah, it's a lot of blue. Get consistent shots out of this. And that occlusion or ambient occlusion is really high. It's okay. All right, we're gonna grab a screenshot of that. I'm gonna go process this and turn it into an icon. If folks have questions, feel free to throw them in chat. Happy to answer. Frankly, I get a ton of good ideas from you guys. Questions often kind of generate good. A lot of your questions sometimes generate really good results. So I love it. It's the reason I stream. For sure. All right. Let's see if that worked. Sometimes the rasterization here, yeah, it doesn't always like want to rasterize the first time. Let's make sure we got a transparent background. Okay. Grab that. And then, let's see, where is it? All right, we're gonna do them in here. And then we drop that in here. We get it sized up right. And I like doing this. So I've got like the shadow, the drop shadow set. All right. Oop. Save, and we will export. All right, missile tower icon. Perfect. All right. Great. We'll save that scene. Probably at some point, if I really want to put a polish on this, I'm going to have to come through and redo those because I've moved the camera around a little bit. Not sure how much that really matters. All right, back to our game scene. And open up our UI. All right, missile tower. Oh, right, it's got to be got to set it as the, whatever you call it, make it a sprite. Okay. That image will update when we play. It's a little confusing. We could change that. Why don't we change it? There we go. Oh yeah, the lighting. I may have just used a different material on it, or a different color. Looks like these some other ones I used the darker material on it. Maybe we'll go switch that. Let's go see if this works. So in order to make that work, that's only going to shoot the flying things. So let's look at... That's not really what I want. I've changed things around so much in terms of the spawning. I'm trying to remember exactly where I put everything. Yeah, it's not there. It's actually in the enemy manager. All right, so we'll do flying. We're just going to do straight up flying to be able to test this out. Cool. All right, let's go. If you guys haven't seen the game, we'll dive in here. We'll skip the start scene. If you guys haven't seen the game, a lot of what's here on the screen, this forming of the world, this is all hidden by a loading screen. Still kind of cool though. See if I can. And the fog of war comes in. Sweet. Okay. So let's add in our headquarters. And then we're gonna cheat here. We're gonna unlock all. Let's make sure that actually unlocked our missile tower. It did. There we go. Let's put a couple of these in here. I don't know if they're gonna work. I don't like the coloring on those missile towers. I might need to remodel those. Adam, what'd you say? And then the mushroom said, "Why not? I'm a fun guy." Exactly. Now, why does everybody think my trees are mushrooms? Maybe that's not what you're referring to. Somebody on the Discord thought they were mushrooms. I mean, I kind of see it. All right, we'll start our spawn and see if we can actually get some. Let's see how well this tower actually still works. All right, we got a null reference. That's not a great. Where are you guys? Oh. Yeah, that's not working. That's pretty funny, Adam. Just the punchline, huh? Just the punchline. Oh, you know what? I forgot to push the button. I should push the button so we are going on the Steam page as well. I don't know how many people actually end up watching this on the Steam page, but it can't really hurt, can it? All right, so we got a bunch of things that are broken. Flying creatures, yeah. Have you not seen those, Adam? Yep, they're definitely in there. They're definitely there. They were actually I've been in the game for a long while. All right, we've got a whole bunch of things that are broken, which, you know. Oh, you saw the burrowing snakes. Yeah, these guys. They get their job done. I've kind of ignored the flying things because I've been trying to like get something playable out, and the flying guys, while they're important, they're like they are kind of an extra thing. And I decided a couple nights ago that I really need to, at least on stream, I'm going to work on things that are going to get me closer to a trailer. Things that visual stuff. And missile towers and flying enemies seems like a good thing to have for a trailer. All right, we've got a bunch of different issues here. So we've got projectile do seeking, blah, blah, blah. That's a problem. But we've also got a problem in here. Let's see what object reference not set to instance. Okay. Oh. There's always some freaking catch, isn't there? There's always something. So what this is, I'll make this a little bigger. So what this is the subunit, which allows the ground enemies to have a single nav unit and the rest of them follow. And I haven't converted the flying guys to do that yet. I mean, I guess we can do that. There's another error on the projectile, but let's fix this one first. Let's see if we can get our flying enemies working. Very cleverly named flying unit. Let's go look at how I did. I just want to make sure I know how I did. Oh, that's, yeah. I haven't quite decided how I want to deal with the flying units. Right now, they use the navigation, pathfinding to find their way around, which makes a lot of sense at some level, except they're flying, so they shouldn't have to follow the ground. But I haven't decided if I want them to be able to fly over mountains yet. And originally I was thinking they couldn't fly over empty space either. I might be overthinking it. Well, maybe we'll just do this quick and easy. Let's see if that works. We'll just break out of the for each loop. Let's see if that works. There's always something. And it makes sense, right? Like change things around, build new systems. Really, really am hoping that I'm getting close to not breaking things anymore. All right, well, let's start a spawn and see if we still get errors with those guys or if that fixed it. It should fix it. Except for I've seen that happen. Where the enemy, like, for some reason they fail to find a target. I haven't seen it for a long time. I bet I could just take that other enemy that's already set up with all the subunits and just swap in the... Maybe. Yeah, see, sometimes they just... It's weird. It's a weird bug. I also haven't applied... Obviously, haven't applied the Fog of War to these guys yet. Okay, well, at least we didn't get that one warning. I'm not going to worry about that warning. That's something I was working on before the stream. I am... Oh, it is again subunits. Okay, so we just need to convert this thing. We need to get this thing working because our targeting is based on subunits as well. All right, let's just convert this guy. Okay. I mean, actually, probably what I could do, we'll just have one subunit. Right? Well, exactly, Adam. You got to be optimistic. I didn't get the first error. It's all good. Fixing problems one at a time. There we go. Okay. I mean, we're not hitting anything. And look at that. No errors. All right, well, let's take a look. Okay, so that's at least... That's progress. It's good progress. All right, let's look at this missile tower and see what it has for detection. Okay, so it's got this target list. That's working. We've got all those targets. Okay. Let's jump in here and see what we've got. Let's put a breakpoint in and see what happens. Okay, we're functional. Update enemy turret list. We have one. Okay, so here's the turret. Okay, so we're not setting... All right, so we get target. So our enemy list is 0. Enemy unit detection. All right, let's debug here. So we're not getting, oops. All right. So let's jump in here. So now we're over on the unit detection script. So min range is 4, max range is 14. Why is this? Huh. Oh, the min. Oh, interesting. Okay. Okay, so I think our min and max range is coming in wrong. I think that's what's going on. Because we have them in. All right, let's try this a different way. We'll test that out a little bit. Because it might be. I guess I could set the min range to 0. That'd be one way. Let's test that. So, okay, so missile tower. Of course, missile tower stats is spelled wrong too, which is why it didn't come up. Let's change that. And we're going to set the min range to 0. It's going to give me a little warning about it. That's fine. Okay. We're going to unlock all these guys. We're going to drop in a missile tower. Let those guys get... Oh, wow, they require 10 workers. That's... Okay, that could be why they weren't working either. That's a lot of workers for a missile tower. Yeah, I'm not sure if I love that a model there. I might like the other one better. Okay, we're all loaded up. We've got what we need. Okay, let's start our spawn and let's see if it'll... There we go. Okay. Definitely got a few glitches there. Also, namely, we're not actually even... All right, the tower is sort of working. All right, this guy... Okay, so that sphere collider is over here. We need to, I believe, let me check here real quick. Yeah, actually, that needs to, I'm pretty sure that needs to come off. So let's copy that. We'll just turn it off for now. And then we're going to paste it over here. Oh, it didn't work as well as I want to do because the scaling is different. Okay, fine. There we go. I have this targeting object here that is used to know where to actually shoot. Otherwise, it would shoot it down the base object down here, which isn't going to work. Okay, let's see if that should help a little bit. The other thing I want to check here is those missiles. That missile tower should, let's get rid of this little preview. Where is that? What I want to look at is the projectile that's getting created. I'm struggling to see where that is referenced. Oh, it's in the turret. Okay. Makes sense. And it's supposed to seek the target. But it clearly was not. So let's go take a look at that. Let's go see what that looks like. Folks have questions, feel free to throw them in chat. Be like Adam and just harass me. It's all good. Okay, so this should be. So let's see if we're actually getting into we should be getting into the do seeking. Let's find out what part is not working. Again, like, I haven't had these missile towers in the game in who knows how long. So I'm not surprised that a few bits and pieces are broken. There's been a lot of changes in the game since they were in here. So let's actually, I want to get rid of these infantry guys. And we are going to let's see there, Jeremy. Do you have any suggestions for getting out of the analysis paralysis rut? Well, yes and no. I've definitely been going from one paralysis rut to the other. But I think for me, like, when I do get stuck, and I do get stuck, a key piece is having a plan, right? Like, what is the next goal? What is the next small thing you need to do? And for me, let me show you here. Let's see if I can, let's see if this will bring it up. To me, a really important piece of that is the planning. So I use Notion, doesn't really matter what you use. I really like this. And so what I've got here, these are kind of all my to-do lists. These are the things that I got to get done. And I have mine sorted by complete for. So right, I had my prototype. I've got things for the trailer. I've got things for a demo. And then I've got early access release as well. And then I've got I've gone a little nuts here with the columns, but then I'm tracking what needs to get done. And so when I am stuck, I can come here and find something. I can find something small to work on. And I often do find that sometimes, like when I'm stuck on like what I'm working on before this stream, is definitely kind of falls into that paralysis analysis thing of there's like so many decisions to get made that it's hard to move forward. But I think making a list so you know what you want to do. Oh, little fucker. There's a bug with these flying guys that they don't move sometimes. I think making a list of like what you need to get done is really helpful. Break it down into big things, small things. That way, when you are in that rut, you're like, I don't know how to solve this problem or how to make this decision. You can go work on something else. Beyond that, I think trying to break things down into smaller problems. Usually when I am stuck in a rut, it's because I'm trying to solve too big of a problem all at once. All right, let's get rid of those guys. So I don't know if that's at all helpful. Those would be my two pieces. Plan it out, make a list, and then whatever you're stuck on, try to break it down into smaller steps and smaller decisions. Why are we getting... Ugh. I should just figure out why in the world that particular unit is getting stuck. Why are we getting... Okay, so why are we getting stuck? This is happening over and over again now. Let's see. Oh, this object's not functional? What? Okay, so that's what's happening is our enemy unit is somehow not getting placed. Okay, so why aren't we... Let's figure that out. Okay. That is, it's got to have something to do with some weird spawning or something. I always get, you know, always get, always something that just derails what you're trying to do. Yeah, okay, so we are spawning right here. We're supposed to be calling... This is where we're calling the place. So the reason I have this function in here to place things is so if I recycle things that get turned off, we need to know that they've actively been placed into the game. It just basically sets is functional to true. Hey, thanks for stopping by. Much appreciate it. Again, glad those videos were helpful. Good luck in your studies. Let's try that. Let's make sure we get the inactive. Maybe... Is it possible that maybe we are... I wonder if there's just some sort of race condition where the object's not fully turned on yet. But at least we got the missile tower in here, so it's not... We've had some success today. Okay, let's load that thing up. We should hit a breakpoint. Okay, so the new enemy is the flying unit. Okay, so we have... I really don't need that get component. Okay, is functional. Great. Yeah, there's got to be some weird race condition or something that's causing the... Yeah, now the tower just doesn't want to shoot. All right, there's some janky ass code going on here somewhere. What in the world's going on? Maybe I know. Maybe I know. Let's look at something here. It might have something to do with layers here. So let's see here. Yep. Not on the right unit. Or not on the right layer. We should write a validator for that. Do I have a subunit validator? Okay, we'll do that next. Let's see if this works. I find writing validators very satisfying. All right. All right, so we're hitting that one. That's good. Okay, we're moving. That's great. I'm suspicious there might have been some weird race conditions there of like... Okay, let's see here. If we are... Our missile tower. All right, they're inside that range. We should have them on the detection object, and they are not. Okay, it's got to be something to do with... It's gotta be something. It was working before. We were detecting them when the collider was on the other object. So I'm looking at these other enemies just to see what our problem is. See if I can find pattern here. Oh, this does have a sphere collider on it too. Oh, interesting. Okay, so maybe that's our issue here. For better or worse, my solution for... I don't know if that's the right thing to do. Let's go look at our unit detection and see what it's looking for here. All right, so on trigger enter. All right, so okay, so we're looking for... All right, so is player unit. Okay, let's make sure that our missile tower is set that way. Okay, is player unit, great. So we try to get component of enemy unit. Okay, I think I see. I think that it was the issue. So that we're actually detecting that base collider that's moving on the ground. Which is a little strange. Come on, why aren't you working? Okay, so, oh wait, so now we fixed that. We've now got, so now we're detecting them. They're in our detection list. That's good. All right, so we've got this. Okay, so our turret has a target. Go to our turret. All right, this target is, okay, so we've got the target. There it is. Can fire is false. Why is can fire is false? The funny thing is this is the same code as my other towers, which are functioning just fine. All right, let's get past these. Let's undo these breakpoints here. Oh, fire. Okay. Can fire. Target is not null. Okay, so we set. What is our cost? Oh, we're costing colonists to fire. Well, that's why we. You gotta. That is right there. Is how do you even explain that? That is right there a downside to using enums. At some point, I changed an enum. And all of a sudden, it takes 5 colonists to you gotta shoot 5 workers out of your missiles. Nice. Which again makes sense why it was working at the beginning, because when I first started this process, the missile towers were requiring 10 workers or 10 colonists just to get started so they could shoot twice. I changed that so they didn't need to take so many workers, and then we never had enough to actually shoot. That's a pretty awesome little bug. All right. All right. Why are we? We shouldn't have a turret at all. That is not supposed to be out there. Okay, it's firing. I can see it. It's really helpful when I point to the monitor. Okay, so now we're shooting, but why? So we're shooting again. Kind of got ourselves back to where we were before. But I want to know, why are we not... Okay. So this is our seeking behavior. So basically, like, are we really close? Oh, I see what. Okay, so I wrote this code a long time ago. So basically, we're looking to say, hey, did we get farther away from this thing? If we did, then explode. Great, that makes sense. And we... Not sure why. That's funny. I'm not even using my own missile. Okay, so target point. I'm just trying to figure out what in the world's going on here. So target, am I using target point? Because that does not appear to be... Yeah, that is not where we want to... Okay, so target point is not changing. That's why we're not turning. This value here... Let's figure out why I'm using... Well, this is just dumb. That doesn't make any sense at all. That's just a dumb way to do it. Why not? Why don't we go towards the transform position? Let's see if that works. This isn't really what I'd envisioned doing for this stream, but you know, if what I get figured out is my missile tower's working again and the flying unit's working, it's not bad. All right. Let's unlock and we'll spawn. There we go. Now we're seeking. We're not doing a good job of it, but YouTube is saying it's not getting enough data to do a smooth stream. All looks good on my end. So I know what's happening here. We are okay when we're setting the target. Okay, so we're setting the target as the unit itself, which is a bit of a problem. Just want to see where all this is getting used. I think we're just passing this in. Because I think what we actually want to pass in is not the unit itself. So I'm going to change this here. We're going to put an overload in here. I don't know what that target point is actually. Okay. So let's do that. And then we're going to do this target equals target. That's going to throw an error for me. But we don't actually need to know what this unit is. This can just be a transform. I don't think that's going to cause any problems. We might come back and make it a subunit here in a bit, but I think that will work. But I want to see where. Man. One of these days, it's all going to be nice and smooth. One of these days will be nice and smooth. Okay, so I think here's the problem is when we call this get target, which is, let's see where all this is called. It's called in the turret and the marine. What we're doing is we're not getting back. We'd really, I think, want to get back here is an enemy subunit. Okay. That's why we have target points, because, but that we don't need that target point anymore. We've got the subunit. That's okay. We're just going to return null if we can't find anything. That should work. Oh, that's a problem. Oh, what a freaking mess. All right, I'm going to grab a real quick snack. I probably got another 20, 25 minutes here to work, but I'm going to go grab a quick snack. I'll be back in like 4 minutes. But I'll switch you over to scene here. You can see a little video of the game. You can see, if you guys haven't seen what the game looks like to play, like a 5 or 6 minute video here. Cheers, I'll be right back. All right. Let's get back to this. All right. If you guys haven't seen the gameplay, that is more or less what it looks like, at least at the moment. Do go check out the Steam page. There's no trailer there yet. It's kind of the next big goal. But check out the Steam page. And what everybody always asks to do, you can check out the, or add it to your wish list would be freaking amazing. All right, enemy, so what, we're gonna just create a new subunit target. And we're basically going to copy this. And we're going to get rid of this target point here. And here we're going to return null. Okay. This is definitely where we're kind of into the territory where the initial plan of the game, a lot of the code that got written early, is now conflicting a little bit with some of the plans that we have. So let's see here if we can fix this a little bit. So let's do enemy subunit, get, oh, but it's, ugh. It's even worse than that now. Oh, this is even worse than I thought it was. Because, so I have this base class called unit. It's abstract. And the player unit and the enemy unit both inherit from that class. And in here is where the definition for somewhere in here, yeah, get target. Oh. So the problem is that it's coming from that base class. And again, this is just some of that messiness of inheritance. I don't use inheritance a ton because it gets into problems like this. But we've got this function that's defined there for the unit. But for the enemy units, we need a different behavior. Well, this is a little frustrating to me. Can we do, what if, okay, there's an in-between here. We don't actually need to pass the subunit. We could pass the transform, which is a more appropriate thing to be passing anyways. So what if we change get target to, okay, let's see how much shit we break now. Transform. There's our default behavior. We're just going to pass the transform for that thing. Okay. I have too many classes open. This is going to be transform. Oh, but we do actually, no, okay. There we go. So again, the reason that I needed that target point was because sometimes you're not shooting at the base object itself. And I think we can get around that. Because now we have all these subunits, so we are actually shooting at that transform. Okay. Feeling better about this. All right, so this is now going to be a transform, capital T transform. Okay, so here now we're going to turn this into a transform there. And target point, we're going to change to this is going to come back to a unit. Because potentially we do want access to that. What are you arguing about here? Okay. Who's using? Okay. We have wandered around. And I think we have found our way out of the nightmare that is inheritance. And of course, we're still in play mode. All right, let's see how many errors we have. Marine. Oh, I just didn't save that one. Let's say I thought we'd fixed it all. Oh, I did actually even include, I did actually have a target. I forgot about that target component. Let's see. Miracles. All right. All right, we're going to drop in our tower there. And we're going to start our spawn. All right, our range is way too far. We're still targeting the bottom thing, which is not... I mean... A little bit of work to do. All right, let's see. All right, so subunits here. Yeah, I feel like very time it looks like an atomic bomb went off to shoot one bat, and I want to yell America, right? Got a big Get a big flag, get a big American flag to plant out there. Hey, John Mark. Does this game remind me of StarCraft 2? There are definitely some similarities. Yeah, the enemies in particular, I think actually, the enemies I got off Asset Pack. I generally don't model like organic things. It just doesn't turn out well. But yeah, definitely those enemies are definitely recall some StarCraft 2 moments. Okay, let's see why. I want to see turret. Okay, so turret is going to get a target. I want to see. It appears that we're still getting the base transform. I'm not sure why. Admittedly, I didn't look super close at that function that I modified a little bit. So that is likely the root cause. All right, so we got our target. Okay, so we are. Oh, I know. Yeah, I know what it is. So we're getting the right thing there, which is great. I know what it is. So, so here, what we actually, okay, so what we want to be looking at is, I changed this earlier. Now we're going to be looking at the target point position. And actually, this might all want to be the target point here as well. That could be target point. And I don't know why I'm doing this. It does not need to be there. And this is just, this made sense to me at some point of like, if we're going away from the enemy, then we want to explode. But I think also we want to do if last distance is less than projectile data, get stat AOE range divided by 2. Let's do divided by 2. Because we're going to the target point. So basically we've got here two things here. Are we close? Did we miss? And are we getting further away? Okay, this might be the last thing I got to do. I'm gonna have to run here soon. If you guys are new to the game, do check out the link to the Steam page down in the description. Much appreciate any wish lists. Super helpful. Super helpful. It's going to be a while before the demo and the game comes out, but getting those wish lists is it's encouraging, but also it's just a really big piece of making a successful game. So much appreciate that. All right, let's do some unlocks. Let's drop our tower in here like that. And then we're going to start spawning. What's the final error count? 1. And it has to do with some incomplete code that I was working on before. Oh, we hit the mountain. Well, that error is coming from some code that I wrote. I did not do that right at all. That's horribly wrong. I was working on some code beforehand, and that's where that error is coming from. So wait, target point. All right, let's see why in the world is that exploding? Target point should be the actual object. Okay, we can get rid of that. Oh, because it's square magnitude. I'll just make the magnitude. That's fine. Make those both magnitudes. That'll be fine. That actually shouldn't. Why would that actually? That would just make that number bigger. I think actually, Adam, what I'm doing there, I think it's just this line that I added in here that's causing the explosion. It's really the only thing I've changed. I should be using the. I shouldn't be able to hit my own drones. I should be. Things should all be separated on separate layers too. I'm leaning pretty heavily on the physics engine in this game for a lot of collisions and the fog of war stuff. So I've tried to be really careful with layers so that we're not checking collisions all over the place. So it's the other line that's doing it. It's this one that's doing it. So that's a little too sensitive. Okay. Huh. All right, let's try without that. I need some way for the projectile to eventually just dispose of itself. All right. Let's see if this works. And then we will call it quits for the day. It doesn't seem to matter what I think I can get done in a 2-hour stream. It just never gets done. It always takes way more time than I want it to. Especially we got the model in. It's working. I'm not loving it. It's just there's nothing. All right, are we gonna work? Are we gonna work? Well, that was pretty effective. Yeah, Joey546. Yeah, totally. Totally. Everything you think is going to be simple, and it just isn't. All right, so our AoE is just like A little overpowered. Let's see, Denmark. The Steam Fest in February. I missed the deadline, knowingly missed the deadline to get in there. The deadline for that was October, the end of October, I think. And I just wasn't confident that I could have a trailer and a demo ready for public in February. Like if I was single, didn't leave this room, definitely could. But and the thing with the Steam Next Fest is you can only enter one of them. So for whatever that's worth, I'm targeting the June Next Fest. Adam, you're hilarious. All right, let's see what can we. Let's drop our. Well, let's see here. Why can't I? Let's see if I drop my AOE to something much smaller. You missed the sign off nukes. Well, Adam, that was next. That's the next thing I want to get in. The nukes are going to get back in. Yeah, that is still like. This is why I have cheat codes or cheat buttons at this point. So we can test these things quickly. Yeah, the nukes they're next up on the. Oh, now our AoE is too small. It doesn't look bad though. I'm not sure why we're missing it. I mean, we're trying really hard. I don't know what it's shooting at. All right. Oh, let's see here, John Mark. I think it is a really good idea to release a demo for Steam Fest. I think that's really good. We got a local dev here who's planning to do that. I'm curious to see. He shares his numbers with me. You know, he's similar scope, right? We're making our games at home, and right, so small numbers, but he's planning on releasing his game the Steam Next Fest. I've heard good things. I've seen, you know, reports and blog posts, videos, whatever, of people getting a lot of wish lists at a Steam Next Fest. But again, you've got to get everything together. It's got to be good. My experience with demos too is that they're hard to get people to download too, but I don't know. Anything you can do to get those wish lists, you know, if you can get a couple thousand wish lists before you release your game, you're doing pretty okay. You know, everybody kind of quotes that magic number of 10,000, which if you can get 10,000 wish lists, you're doing well, right? You're not going to probably not going to pay your mortgage off that, but you're doing pretty well. So we'll see. I've never actually participated in a Steam Next Fest, so it'll be interesting. Got a lot of work to do between now and June to make sure that this is a pretty polished. And yes, Adam, I am shooting speakers. I got a sound effect. And light bulbs. Alrighty, well, I'm clearly still got an issue here. I'm not sure why those guys are not aiming at the right target. But we've got the missile silo back, or the missile tower back in. I think it's a little ugly. Might need an update there. I might go to that other model that I created. I think it's a little bit more in line with the other art. But it's working, it shoots missiles. Right now I think we're inside the minimum range or something. I'm not entirely sure why we aren't shooting. Oh, we ran out of resources. There we go. Yeah, even it is shooting the wrong. It's shooting down there too. Why the hell is it doing that? I don't know. We'll figure it out. Anyways, much appreciated. If you guys haven't, go check out the Steam page. I will be back next Thursday. Short of some disaster. But if you guys are unfamiliar, I do try to stream most Thursdays. Probably won't stream around Christmas and other holidays. But anyways, I'll be back next Thursday doing some more work. And Adam, we're going to try next week to get those nukes working again, because I think those will look cool in a trailer. So anyways, I'm going to stop rambling, and thank you all for joining. Much appreciated. Hope to see you guys next Thursday, or, some stream later in the future. Anyways, appreciate it. Thank you guys.